Hello, my creative friends. My name is Heather North. You can find me on Instagram at Heather's Creative Blessings. Today is Monday, May 9th, 2022, and I'm so glad you've joined me for another Flosstube. I have had some questions recently about what does Flosstube mean. It's not a term that I came up with. I have seen others use it, mainly in the cross-stitching community. What I use it for is to identify my videos. When I am doing a Flosstube video, it's going to be mainly about cross-stitch and what's been going on in my cross-stitch world, my works in progress, which I call WIPs, or my finishes, my FFOs, which are fully finished objects, project bags that maybe I make, or buy, a lot of the stitchy stash and haul and things like that, stitchy kindness if I get a card from another, or even a gift from somebody in the cross-stitch community. I share all that. Sometimes I will share stitchy or cross-stitch adjacent things like my quilt. We'll be talking about that a little bit more at the end. But if I were to do a video just about quilting or about making a project bag, I would label the video like that. I also do it in numerical order because when it comes to these videos, it's kind of like a diary of my cross stitch. Show and tell diary of my cross stitch, and I might reference another video or two videos ago, and by having the number it's easy for you to find and also to know if this is the most current video that you are watching. All right, and if you've been with me for a while, you're like, Heather, I know this. But since I got that question from multiple people since my last video, I thought I would just put that out there. In my last video, I told you that I had been having allergies and my husband had been really sick, and within 48 hours, I think, of filming that video, I got that sinus infection. The next day it turned into like bronchitis, went down to my chest, coughing, and then the next day I had vertigo, which happens to me quite often it doesn't happen to me often, thankfully, but it happens when I get very congested and get either an ear infection or like that swelling in my inner ear. I'm not a doctor, but that usually happens and then it turns into vertigo. And when I have vertigo, I do have, thankfully, medicine that really does help. It makes me very tired. And I don't go out and I don't drive. So I spent about 10 days in the house. But because I was taking cold medicine or cough medicine for the cough and cold and the antibiotics and also the stuff for the vertigo, I didn't get a lot of stitching that week done. I went from about 130 stitches an hour to more like 25 to 30, and not very many hours at that. So I still did some stitching, but not as much as you might think for having I think it's been 2 or 3 weeks since I filmed a video. I think it's been 3 weeks. And then when I started feeling better, I had got a hutch for my sewing room. So I had bought a hutch back in, I think, late March, early April, and it was almost before it was closing. I told you it was Primrose Primitives I had been at. This was for something else, but that's the shop downtown Centralia. So I purchased it and they were going to wrap it up and have it ready for us to pick it up. But then it's been raining every weekend and I wasn't in a big hurry. It's been raining every weekend and my husband got really sick, and then I was sick, and then he was down. Anyways, it ended up being my birthday weekend that we finally did it. So since it was going in my sewing room, I needed to clear it out. So I decided to just take everything out of that room, and I had except for a couple of pieces of furniture, the table that my sewing machine's on, and kind of like an armoire type thing. It's really heavy, and so those were the things that remained. I took everything else out, and then I've been in and then the boys and my husband brought the hutch up the stairs into my room, and I'll show a picture at the end. It's so beautiful, this hutch. And now I'm in the process of before I bring it back in, making sure that I want it. And I have a yard sale pile, a donation pile, and a trash pile. And so everything before it goes back in, I'm kind of sorting and then cleaning and putting it away. So I haven't, again, been cross-stitching because I've been intentionally getting my sewing room in order so I can be more productive in there. And now that I have storage, it's very helpful. And I know what I need for both my cross-stitch and for my quilting. All right, that's enough chit chat. I am feeling much better now. Still have allergies. We still have a lot of pollen. The weather has been crazy, so the lighting may change drastically throughout this video. I apologize for that, but I live in Southwest Washington. That's what happens. Since we're in May, and I haven't done a video since just before Easter. Let me share my stats. I like to keep track of things. So these are my stats. For April, I had 5 finishes, which brings my total to 30 for the year. I had 0 FFOs, which is what happens when you're sick for 10 days. And yeah, I did complete, though. I did make 1 bag. That was that Laurie Holt Zippy Bag I shared. This is a little hint or sneak peek of what is to come, but I did make that zippy bag because I'm keeping track of all the project bags I make throughout the year too. WIPGO. Let's move on to WIPGO. So WIPGO is the brainchild of Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on YouTube and on Instagram and on Facebook. I will link to her channel down below so you can go, if you're not familiar with what that is, you can go check her out. She'll explain in great detail, but okay, so WIPGO, but in a nutshell, WIPGO is a play on bingo. We like playing on words, don't we? And it's, instead of bingo, it's your whips in progress, WIPGO. You make your own board, you write down what projects you want to work on. When she calls that number for the month, that's your focus for WIPGO weekend, or however you choose to do it. You make your own goals, etc., etc. So for April, I completed both of my goals. The first one, well, let's do the second one. 19 was, oops, I'm at the wrong thing. I was looking at January. April 10. Counting is Hard. I shared that in a previous video. Counting is Hard by Luminous Fiber Arts. I brought that to a finish, even though my goal was just to get a part of it done. I had so much fun I couldn't put it down. Finished the whole thing. And then the other one was November Sampler. I believe I completed that before the month started. So I went ahead and substituted it with July Sampler of the Month by Cottage Needleworks. And I finished that too. I am so close, you guys, to getting all of these samplers of the month. And here is my finished piece. That was the ugly back. Did not mean to show you that. Oh gosh, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter who sees the back, right? Except, you know, the whole world that I just showed. So I think I stuck to the colors this time and did exactly what she has there. Within reason. I may have accidentally done a few things, but the only thing I didn't do is I decided not to add the little eyeballs because I feel like that just draws attention to the Uncle Sam, and I wanted the attention drawn more to just right there and have them be an accent. So that is my July Sampler of the Month. I'll give you, oh, I left it outside. I need to remember and grab it. I do have an FFO. I have started finishing these up. I showed you my April one. I've done May and I have it hanging right outside this door. So don't let me forget, okay? The new numbers called for May are 13, which is the free space in the center. I left that as a free space. I am doing multiple challenge things. My cat's coming in, one of them. Multiple challenges this year, and so WIPGO is not like my whole focus for the whole month. It's something, part of what I'm doing. But I decided to leave the free space. You can put something in there or not. It's free. So yay! Number 14 is February calendar crates, which I'll show you in just a second. I had not even started that one. And number 8 is December sampler, and I had not started that one, but it's appropriate since I finished July to pull out the, do I have that right set up? Yep. The December sampler from Country Cottage Needleworks. And the way I'm working this on my No New Starts board, in case you're part of No New Starts challenge on Facebook, that challenge is closed until the end of this year, and then they'll open it up for next year because they award prizes and things. It's a year-long thing. I'm in the 22 and 22, so when I finish something, I can add something else, and one of my slots is this sampler of the month, and when I finish one, I rotate out that one and add in a new one from that same thing. So here is my December. I went with the light blue. I have already stitched this and torn it out and stitched it again, and then realized I did the wrong color here and almost took it out, and I think I'll just leave it. You will see. I decided to leave out the top row of gingerbread men and Santa and Mrs. Claus for a couple of reasons. I don't mind this being a little bit smaller and shorter because I do have a lot of decorations and things that go up in December and with Christmas. So this will end up being finished a little bit smaller, and I'm probably going to make one more change, which when we get there, we'll get there. But this is what I have so far for the December sampler of the month. I changed this to a different shade of blue than I had been using, and I did not bring that book down with me. I apologize, but if you're curious, let me know in the comments below and I will share next time. It's just a little bit different shade of blue, and I think the white shows up more than the ones I had been using. I was kind of frustrated with myself because when you take the threads, now this is kind of a mess, and we're getting towards the end. I think I may have one more after this that I want to do. And then I'll be done with this series. Woohoo! So when you put all the threads together, it shows up. It's like, oh, that's going to work. But when I did it with just the 2 strands over 2 on the other piece I'd been working with, it was just too light. So this, I think, shows up really well, and I am really, really liking it. I want to call it baby's breath, but I don't, that could not be right. Baby blue. Anyways, what do I have in here? That was the July. That's the March, which I don't think I'm going to do March. Oh, this might be the last one I have to do, you guys. Here's the other one. This is that Aqua Dyed Effects, and it's just a little bit lighter, and because the modeling is so white, I felt like my white stitches, at least with that Snowball by Classic Colorworks, wasn't showing up. So I changed it. Okay, the second one that I was just saying is the February calendar crate. So this is another one I'm rotating out on my No New Starts board. When I finish one, I start another one, and this is one I've been so excited to do, but I keep putting it off and doing the others. This is something I'll do too if I know I have to eat, you know, eat the salad, although I love salad. I eat the stuff I don't like first, and so that I can just enjoy the stuff I love. But I make sure I eat the stuff I'm supposed to for kind of like that. I'll tackle the chore I don't like the most, or I like the least, and then head to what I like the most. And I've started doing that since I couldn't keep up with the actual month. I've been doing some of the other ones so that I could get to and leaving the 2 favorites. This one, and I think and it might be just brand new, sorry, I got a little itch. Like a quilt or a quilt barn, I'm thinking. I don't know. I think that's the other one that I'm probably going to save for last. But this one is February calendar crates, and it came up and I hadn't started yet, so I'm really excited to do that one. And I haven't worked on any of these calendar crates for at least a month, maybe 2, because I kept thinking, I need to pull that out, but hadn't started it. So this would be another new start. And I am doing it on Color and Cotton. This is one of those limited editions I was sharing, I believe, last video that she did. So it's like a mist dye. She had some things that weren't quite dyeing like she wanted them to. And so it's more of a one-off. And it's Rustic Limited Edition number 1001, Lugana 28 count. And that, it was hailing just before I started videoing, and now it's sunny. That is my progress so far. I'll do a little close-up so you can see. The colors don't look quite right. Don't you love it? I am not doing all of mine on black, only some of them. And I debated between this and the blue, but see, there's blue in the little mason jars. I didn't want to compete with that. I really like it in black, but the last couple of years when Valentine's Day comes around, I've really liked having more of that parchment paper look and the light browns and tans. So I decided to do it in this because knowing that that's what I kind of like that time of year. Excuse me. My goal for this is also to finish, and I want to finish both the big one, upside down, both the big one and the little one. So that's my goal for May. I think I will get there. The December sampler of the month will be done fairly quickly now that my sewing room's clean. I can go back to doing both things. Did I share this? I don't think I shared this yet. So I think I'll have enough time to get those calendar kits done. This I'm gonna save. This is another finish that I did, but I'll save that for the very end there. It was just before Easter. This is one of my Dot Goose Designs bags. But I want to make a bag just for this project. It's one of the motivations to get that sewing room finished, because I like the idea of having, I know it's a little weird, but I like the idea of having my project bags match, if I can, match my project. So for my Easter start, I decided to do this Tetelestai. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce. Ouch, that hurts. Gandalf just put his claws into my foot. Sorry if I know I mispronounced that. This is by Quaint Rose Needlearts. Remember, I won that package from hers with the clock and the pattern anyways, this is hers, and it is, you can write it down. It means it is finished. And so I thought this was the perfect, sorry, it is not wanting to, it's blurry. I'm trying to get my fingers out of there. So this was my Easter start, and I decided to do it in the color Rosewood by Dinky Dyes. Her projects come with this little tag that, sorry, my floss bitty thingy is covering it up, but it has a picture of it on the front, and then you can put the information on the back. I haven't filled that out yet. I just wanted to get a start on this for Easter. I think that is gorgeous, and I would love to have it on my wall before next Easter. It could stay up. It could stay up year round, really. This is on another one of those limited editions by Color and Cotton, number 2016. Yes. And it's on 32 count Lugana, but it's a nice light color. It is fairly easy for me to see, but I thought it would be a good travel project. But then I was like, this is kind of, well, I had done it on 32 count. I had to stitch this. It says top. I had to stitch top because when you're starting, it's like, where does this go? But the pattern is really easy to follow. And I believe she said the top is a reproduction and the bottom, I think the top, one of these is a reproduction and the other is her own original design. I'm sorry, I don't know which one is which. Oh yeah, this is, here we go. This is the original. So I love that she added that it is finished on that cross. It's just gorgeous. I cannot wait to get back to this. And oh, see, I already wanted to do it the wrong way. It gets kind of in a pattern, and I had it down going, oh, this is really fun to stitch. And it's fun doing it in just a single color of variegated floss. The floss is, like I said, it's called rosewood, but it's kind of a rosy, mauvey, purpley, not quite red. It's not red, but to me, the red is so harsh in my house. Like, it just, and the cross, I just like, oh, I wanted to do a different color. And I really debated and looked, and because there were some really cool reds, and I just went, and I saw this, and I thought rosewood and the wood of the cross, it worked for me. So that was my Easter 2021 start, 2022 start. We'll see when it gets finished. What's up next? The other thing I did this, and since the last video, was I was finally able to get in and get my eyes checked, and my new glasses are in. And after my husband gets home today, he had to replace his glasses because Denali, our husky Malamute, she loves eating glasses. She just has a thing, and his glasses fell off the table onto the carpet, the rug, but and he didn't know they fell off, but Nolly went and grabbed whatever it was, and she started chewing on it. You could hear this crunch of the metal. We're like, what is that? And it was like in real time. It was just seconds, but she had mangled the what's that called? The part that comes here and around. She'd mangled that part and put a scratch mark and a little divot in the glass itself. So he had to get his glasses replaced. His is ready, or yeah, because it's just one, and I'm getting two. One pair just for my cross stitch, the close up, and one that I can read at a normal distance, because I tend to cross stitch just right here, very kind of close to my face. So I am super, super, super excited to get those glasses. And it's funny, I'm like, I think because it's my 47th birthday and not my 50th birthday, I was very excited to get new glasses because I have an astigmatism in one eye. So one eye doesn't hardly need any, and one needs a lot more. So just using reading glasses is not working for me, especially with that fine detail work. I am so excited, and I'm wondering if I'll be able to stitch faster. I know that my eyes they hopefully won't get tired as easily. I'm just really excited, and maybe I can work on some of those higher counts. I haven't been able to. All right, let's pull out another whip. Me and my excessive talking. Stop doing that, Gandalf. That hurts. You guys do that? I don't know. It distracted him enough. Snapping your fingers. I remember my preschool teachers and the other teachers doing that. Flea Market Flowers by Laurie Holt. This was one with my vertigo. I was just not able to. I was trying, but it would take me at least an hour to do one of these, or 2 hours to do one of these little flowers that I'm going to show you, the purple. I think I need to put this on here because it's a really thin, I don't know that it's Lugana. It says Lugana, but I don't think, I wrote down that it was Lugana, but I don't think it was. And it is a 32 count. I'm changing the colors that Laurie Holt used to kind of brighten them up. And then I'm using some variegated to add just a little more interest to some of those petals. I think I had these two, or at least maybe one of these flowers done last time I showed you. And you can see this is all that I've been able to get done on this one. I ended up just going, okay, I have to put this away because it's so tiny, and I'm trying to see, and my eyes are just a little bit swimming, I guess would be the word. It's one of the lovely things about having multiple projects going at once is that there's almost always something I can work on, depending on the mood and the lighting. I've got a needle minder on here. and it just picked up the scissors that were on the desk. That cracks me up. Excuse me. Flea Market Flowers by Laurie Holt. This is my piece. I think it's called Peace by Madame Chantilly. I'm keeping my Stitch for Ukraine or Pray for Ukraine pieces in this together in this bag, and as I work on one, I'll pull out another one. So that was not it. This is it. Yes, this is Peace. This is a free chart by Madame Chantilly. And I have changed the colors. If you're interested, let me know. I actually have them written down here. I think mostly I just was doing what I had instead of going out and buying more floss to do this little piece. It's on, I can feel the tag. Chickpea Lugana 28 count by Color and Cotton. One of my favorite all-time neutral light brown tan colors. I love this. Any neutral that you need, almost, the chickpea seems to work. So let's do a close-up so you can see a little bit better. I've got almost half of that heart wreath so far. And I got called away. I need to put this needle. I'm trying really hard not to leave my needle in my project where it's going to show on the final finish. Like, I can do it on the edges because I know that however I decide to finish it, that's not going to show. But you can see I left it in there. I'm trying not to do that because, like I said, things happen. I got vertigo and then I wasn't able to work on stuff for a week or two, but I don't want them sitting in there in the wrong spot. Trying to remind myself. Do you do that? Do you leave, or are you really good about, I would just leave it on my needle minder. That's a really good option. But because I have cats and I have dogs that can sometimes get into, because I leave my project bags in the kind of the main family room. And so it's where we watch TV, and you know, the animals are in and out and the dogs are in and out, and it's not like a safe spot. That's why everything's in a project bag, or that's everything that I'm working on is in a project bag. Whereas my sewing room, I have the door shut. I don't work on it when the dogs are awake and able to get in and out, because I don't want the dog hair in there. I don't want them to get into anything. I don't want them to hurt themselves. There's needles and pins. So I can't just leave a needle on the outside of this, because you know, a cat might go, ooh, and knock it off. And I have enough problems trying to keep track of my needles. I don't need that. So for that reason, I do keep it stuck most of the time, stored by putting it in the corner of my cross stitch. But sometimes I put it right where I'm working. That's a really bad habit. Do you do that? Maybe it's just me. Today, it's garbage day. I hear my neighbor's son pulling up his garbage can. I don't know if you can hear that. Our neighbor has the best kids. Her boys are so good. So this is, oh, I guess I should show you the pattern. Pink. Well, it's not just Pink Barn. I was gonna say Pink Barn. Oh, this is kind of a finish and a start too. I don't think I've shown you that I finished Farmhouse. Okay, this is by Shannon Kristin Designs. And this is the Rose Farm series, basically. And she has the frame, the Rose Farm frame, as a freebie on her blog, Shannon Kristin Designs. The top portion is Pink Barn. That part is done. The middle, fresh, I think it's called Fresh Cut or Cut Roses or something along those lines. It's the middle one. I finished that. Then I went to, what is this called? Farmhouse, and I finished, that's on that side. Nope, that's on that side there. Finished Farmhouse. I don't even know if I had started that the last time I showed you guys. I think I had just the fresh cut roses. And then the last one I have to do, I forgot I was this close to being done. Wow. because this has been a WIP for a while. I love this one, and so it's kind of the battle between I don't want this one to end, but I also really want this one finished so I can put it on my wall. I think I'm going to finish it in a frame. The last one here is called Guest House. So that's what I'm working on right now. When I get that, it'll be done. And then I will move on to this one by Shannon Kristin Designs. This is all in my pink. I love this bag too. This is one of my all-time favorite Dot Dot Goose design bags. It's got a pink barn. This, you can see the pattern. And I just love that one. I've seen other YouTubers or Flosstubers share that, and then I went to go get it and it was out of stock, and then she found some more of that fabric and I was like, yay, I was able to get some. Sorry, long way to get to putting that away. So this is where I am at. The frame was done first, and then I did the top portion that is on my WIPGO board, and then I did this one, and then I did this one, and it's really going to be hard to see. Okay, can you see there's a cloud? I think that's all I have in this section here is the cloud. Am I on camera? It's hard to tell. So let me go closer so you can stand slower. Little truck. Oh my, the truck gets me. Yep, and I love how this look. I remember talking to you about this, that I didn't realize there were so many 3/4 and quarter stitches and back stitches. Yeah, that one, I had to do a lot of ripping and back in. This one went really quickly. So I'm hoping that means this one will go really quickly too. So that is my Rose Farm by Shannon Kristin Designs. Oh, what color frame do you think I should get for that? I was thinking white, but the white is not really popping on this. I can tell which projects I worked on before I really got a grasp on overdyed fabrics and overdyed floss and all of the things that are available now, because I look at that now and go, well, that is not really clear. The white isn't popping. Hold on a second. Good thing I'm almost done. The boys just got home. The dogs are like, oh, there's boys home. They woke up. Cats in here. Oh, let's see. Where was I? 3 more WIPs, or actually 2 more WIPs and a finish to share with you. This is CrossStitch Nation by Heartstring Samplery. I am changing and making this my own. I'm changing some of the hair and skin and dress colors to match, or match isn't quite the word, but I want these are kind of representing my friends, and not just cross-stitch friends. I am doing this to have my other creative friends, because I have a lot more friends that do crafts other than cross-stitch, in real life friends. So I'm going to do different things to represent different people, and I've written down which ones. And the dress I'm doing kind of like their favorite color, or maybe a color that makes me think of them, but also so it all kind of coordinates. Oh, yay, good job. My son just came in with the mail. You could bring my packages here. I might have something to actually show you. So this is, and I'm just going to bring it up close. So that first one I'm thinking is Carla. The second, who does beadwork. And the second one is me. And then I haven't done any of the others. But I do have the top. And some of these things I'm doing over one, or not over one, with one strand, and some is 2. Thank you, son. Ooh, there's 3. Oh, yay. Oh, I've got mail, which is good. I only have one of my club shipments that came in. I'm like, I don't have a lot of haul to share with you for not having done, I mean, it's been 3 weeks. I only have one haul thing to share with you. now I've got more. These are all just club shipments. I haven't been doing shopping. So anyways, there is, I belong to the CrossStitch Nation. I don't know where I was at last time I shared with you, but, and this is a project bag that I made. I made it, I love this fabric. I don't know why, other than the color, I just love it. But this is my cross-stitched, or this was my Coming to America, the bag I made for that Coming to America cross-stitch. Still need to do a video on that. Okay, I wondered where these went. A couple of random DMC floss fell in here. That's what I'm talking about. The cats knock things over. The dog's tail knocks things over. Knocks. That did not sound right. Dog knocks things over. Yeah, that was right. Maybe I need a nap. No, we're going to go get my glasses in Olympia. Okay. This is Serendipity Stitch Along. It was the charity Stitch Along that Fat Quarter Shop did to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation last year. Yes, I am behind. I don't do well with keeping up with stitch alongs, especially mystery stitch alongs where they release one part of the pattern a week. It's like, because I'm so motivated in the beginning to do a lot, but then life comes up and it's hard for me to keep up. But anyways, this is where I'm at. I am so close to being done. What I wanted to do for May, there's a Stitch Mania, which can be a lot of different things, but I've done it in the past where I've started things in May. There's some people that start one a week or up to every day. That got overwhelming for me. I didn't ever make it to every day, although I think I could now. I had so many projects going and I'm in the no new starts. I couldn't do that. So what I wanted to do was see how many pieces I could finish, how many of my whips I could get to a finish this month. We'll see. I mean, we're only a week in, a little over a week into May, even though we've already had Mother's Day. I may get more, but this is so close. Let's see. Let's look. Let's compare. Where am I at? I have this row of Flying Geese to finish, and then this row here, which I'm halfway through, or almost halfway through. I'm halfway through, over halfway through that last row. So this should get to a finish. This is on, I think it was 20 count, or maybe, I think it's 20 or 22 count Ada from Bestitch Me. Don't you love the modeling on that and the purple? Whew. I use my own colors. You can tell because I used some of theirs. If you look closely, that's my color conversion. But I definitely pinked it up, purpled it up. I kept the blue and the gray, but I'm using them a little bit differently, and no yellow for me. This, though, if you wanted to do something kind of with the Ukraine colors, using the called for would be perfect, I think. So, problem with wearing lip gloss is that it attracts hair and fuzz and fur. My last piece, this is a finish, and this I worked on. Oh, I forgot to work on this that first weekend. I was so busy cleaning out my sewing room and petting my hutch. I forgot to do the Blackbird designs. Is it the first full? Well, that would have been last weekend. So yeah, I missed Blackbird designs weekend. Usually I do it, but this was what I was working on in April, and so it was so much fun. I just kept going and brought this one to a finish. Oh, sorry, it's called Basket of Cherries, Garden Club Series #1 from Blackbird Designs. It's still in print. I'm almost certain. And the back, let's see, what did it have you do? Let me look real quick, because I thought it didn't have any specialty stitches. I was not paying attention. It actually does, because I don't like doing specialty stitches or like French knots or Smyrnas or whatever when I'm using Ada, because it's too hard to find that center point and have it work with my OCD to have everything straight and in line. But I made it work. It wasn't too bad. But the center of the baskets are Smyrna stitches. There we go. I think I used the called for colors, but it's interesting how dye lots change, or even just using different parts of the thread, or maybe because I went with a lighter fabric, the colors are definitely show up differently on here, because I say it's a lot more olivey green than on here. And you can see the blue is more of a gray on this lighter one, whereas it's more brightly blue in that one, in the picture. So that's my basket of cherries. I don't know how I'm going to fully finish it, but it is done. All right, that is all my whips, except for my sewing. Should I do all the sewing together in one? Yeah, let's do all the sewing together in one. I'm gonna go to my stitchy stash, show what has come this week. I apologize for the crinkles. I'm gonna take this out of its bag. I got my club shipment from Stitch Me. I just noticed her tag's a little bit different. Cute. Or lighter. So this is 32 count Jobelin in the color Peanut. Let me show you. The color is going to be more true back here. Isn't that great? What a wonderful neutral. I have Peanut and I think 28 count Lugana as well. I like the color a lot. It's a great, great neutral. But by getting Jobelin, you get a really big piece. So pro tip, if you want to join Stitch Me's color of the month, or even the fabric, like the Friday night fight night that she does, where you can get fabrics, the Jobelin, I guess because of the way the bolts are, a fat quarter is bigger, or it's longer. So you get a lot of use out of her fabrics. I just love Brandy's fabrics. And she's really, really good at color, like bright, vibrant colors as well. I showed you that Serendipity piece. That was one of hers. Excuse me. She also does silks, and you're going to see, talk about bright. This reminds me of Mardi Gras. I wonder if that was the intent. Probably. These are the silks of the month. And they are, I believe, 10-yard skeins. Look at that. That's looking a little more teal in the light, but it is a perfect navy. It's, I mean, in the camera, it's not coming out exactly like it is. Nice red and peacock. You know, I love peacock. Actually, that would make a great peacock. Have you seen the Jan Hicks Creates peacock? So those are the silks of the month. I think her silks are very fine and soft. All right, that's that one. And then I can grab my scissors because I got my Color and Cotton came. I think Color and Cotton and Stitch Me and Hand Dyed by Stephanie all do really good jobs. And they're all slightly different. I mean, each one is going to be different because they are hand dyed. But I'd say Brandy, Stitch Me, as far as having very impactful bold colors. She does fabulous with that. She does a lot of modeling in hers, which I personally love. Color and Cotton does amazing neutrals, just all different shades, and you can always find the perfect one with theirs. And her modeling is more subtle, and so it doesn't quite show up as much, which is also perfect for a different kind of project. And then Hand Dyed by Stephanie, the way that her fabrics feel. I've only had a couple of them, but so this is a new club I decided to participate in because I'm starting to make pin cushions out of my my cross stitch things, and I wanted to get some of the pins. So this is from Fat Quarter Shop. I'm trying to see what it's called. This is Pretty Pansies 1 and 2 Mini Penny, but I don't remember what the club is called, but it's from Just Another Button Company. Be Happy limited edition. Not cute. Oh my goodness, I have so many bee things that I need to finish or want to finish that this would be so cute on. That blue might be really good with one of the Stitch for You cranes as well. Oh, happiness, happiness. This is Floss Fix. I never can remember because Fat Quarter Shop has different floss clubs, and I never remember which one is for which thing. Okay, this is the Classic Colorworks. Neutral beige. So the colors... Oh, somebody's gonna freeze the frame and pause it on that look on my face. Oh, that's awful. Vanilla Custard, Onion Skin, Mariner's Compass, Bunny Honey, Country Lane, and Pebble Beach. That's better with the colors, but always good to have neutrals. Some of those most of those I have, not all of them, but they're also ones that get called for in patterns. Oh. And last but not least, dun, 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 dun. So this has my club shipment as well as some other things. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a phone call. Oh, it's going to be one of those videos. I didn't want to wait another day to film though. So let's see if I can get through this. My husband's on his way home and we get to, like I said, go get my glasses. So this order has, I'm sorry, I don't know what I said before the phone call. This order has my monthly shipment, my club subscription or whatever she calls it, and also has some other things that I ordered. And one of them I saw when Kathy from Hands On Design before Market showed what she was coming out with and shared some of the series that goes along with it. And this is Red, she said. And the color or the picture does not even do it justice. I love this so much. And she uses the Color and Cotton, Carmine, Harvest Wheat, Nickel, Red Fox, Slate, and Winter Prairie, along with Lady Dot Creates for the finishing trim. So I was waiting for Color and Cotton, because I was pretty sure they would do it, to put out their thread pack to go along with it. So when they came out with the thread pack, I went ahead and ordered the set. Very excited for this one for summer. Especially, you know, I was thinking it had like freedom or red, white, and blue, or it doesn't say that. It doesn't, even though it is very Americana patriotic type colors, you can do it all summer long because it doesn't necessarily just say 4th of July fireworks. I'm going to put this thread in here. Okay. And then I got some of her misdyed thread. And if you like the mist dye, you'll want to get enough because it comes in a 20-yard pack. This would work really well for that. It is finished Tetelestai, sorry, I can't pronounce it right. A pattern that Quaint Rose, I think it's Quaint Rose Primitives, puts out. Where is that one? There we go. See, that would look really good with this pattern as well. But you'll want to get, if you want to order this, get plenty to do whatever project you think you're going to use, because once they're gone, they're gone. That was a one-time thing. This is another, I love this one. Oh, I should have gotten 2 of these. Maybe I already got one and got another one because I loved it so much. Even her mist dyes are beautiful. This is the May Thread Club. I get all skeins. So, ooh, this reads very fall to me. What is that one? Sorry, I have to see what this one here is. You know me with the aquas and teals. Ooh, special edition Hot Springs. Oh, I hope she does that. Chantilly lace. Cool. And then I got her grab bag, so I'm going to show you that too. The grab bags could be, she says, grab bag threads may be mislabeled, discontinued, or of an incorrect dye lot. Can't go wrong. Cannot go wrong. And look, this. And then my 2 fabric of the months are Sweet Tea. This is the 32 count. Since I don't have time, I'm not going to take it out, but yeah, that's the 32 count. And then, because I think I did neutral and then any color or something like that for the 28 count. This is the 28 count Lugana Patina. It's a little bit, it's lighter than it's showing up. Oh, and you know, it kind of looks green on the camera. It's not green. It's just reading green because of the room I'm in, probably. It's a perfect silver. Yeah, that color, I'm sorry, is not showing up. So that is my haul. Now, a little bit of quilting. So if you're not, first I'm going to show the project bags and then I'm going to show the quilt. So the quilt behind me, I'm going to try and get a picture of my son holding it front and back so you can see, but I can see in the video, I can see the quilting on it, the stitching of the 3 layers together. So when you make a quilt, you've got the quilt top, you've got the batting or whatever's in the middle, and then the quilt back. And then you quilt all those layers together and then add the binding. I still have to do the binding. So I'll talk about that in just a minute. But I was going to the Shiplap quilt shop. I think it's called Quilt. I had the label right here and it must have fallen off as I was walking downstairs. Uh-oh. Oh, here it is. It fell into the bag. Shiplap Quilt and Coffee Shop in Tenino, Washington, right there on Main Street of Tenino, Washington. If you have not been to the shop, go. They have a gluten-free option with their pastries. And they have home decor and things as well. But I had one of the owners, the wife, has a long arm business. And I have probably, oh, I wasn't going to get into that. Let me back up a second. So in case you don't want to be here for the quilting, I'm like going right into it. Anyways, I was picking up my quilt that she had long armed. And I also picked up another one of the Zippy Bag Panels. So like I showed earlier, this is the first Zippy bag that I made. I added the little charm on there. But in case you missed that one, it's lightly quilted, but it's hard for it to show up in the video. You can kind of see the quilting there, but I lined the inside and kind of did a French seam on the inside as well. And I loved it so much that I wanted to get another panel and make more of these bags. Some of them, I mean, this is not my favorite color, so I'm going to make some bags and either give them away or sell them. We will see. Once I get to 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway on this channel, so I plan on having some of those in that. But I also picked up another panel and mix and match a little bit. So I made a second big bag. I just finished this, and I just finished this last night and didn't get a chance to iron it, so it'll look even better once I iron it. But I mixed and matched with this because, yeah, I put the decorated weight fabric on the inside with all of the words, embroidery, knitting, sewing machine, thread, create, ruler, measure, like crochet. It can go with all pincushion, all different kinds of things. And then it has the hexagons. I don't know if you can see. I just did this on my home machine, the quilting. On the back, it straight lines vertical. On the front, the top has straight lines horizontal. And the hexies, what I did was I outlined some of them all the way across, and then I went back the other direction. So you can see it in person, but it's hard to see because it's such a busy pattern, and you can't really see it on the back because it's white on the white. But yeah, you can't really see, sorry. And then I just used a zipper that I already had. I have been playing around with where to put the tag, whether I want it to be on the top or the bottom, whether the left or the right. Sometimes it's the tag itself that dictates it. But this tag was actually it's from It's So Emma. So it wasn't, because they have tags you can make yourself. That was on the Zippy Bag panel. But I had, like this one, this is my favorite color. I had to put it that direction. Like, I think this is actually maybe upside down so that this could be the right way on the right side for me. But like I said, I'm going to be giving these away or selling them. So I also wanted to have the tag, it could be left or right-handed. I'm going to try and finish this. Okay. So this bag, she has the bigger ones. Laurie Holt has the bigger project bags, which will fit your, the full size sheet of paper or your patterns. It's a very good size. And then she has the little bags on there as well. So 4 big, 4 little. And for this one, I put the little bumblebee sticking up because, and I didn't have batting. Like this one has batting and this one has batting and just has regular batting. And I think it's the perfect weight. With the ones that have the vinyl on the front, I've been using foam. I like that weight better, to use the foam inside. But with these ones, because you've got fabric on the front and the back, and because it's decorator weight fabric, I feel like you don't need the foam so much. This one is lined, but there's no foam. There's no batting. It's thinner, because this is, for me, more of like a notions bag. You could fit a small pattern in here for cross stitch. But also you could use it for your scissors and thread. It doesn't have to be cross stitch related. I could use it to take, put makeup or something if I'm traveling. It can be used for all kinds of things. We all know what a bag can be used for. But with this, I thought it could go on a ring and even go hang on the side of another bag. So I use the double zip on these. The only quilting I did one line here and one line here, but like I said, there's no batting. The back is like that. And then inside, again, I use that decorator weight fabric. So those are my zippy bags that I have made so far. And like I said, I'm playing around for the best way, the way that I'm going to like it and use it the most, and just kind of playing with different zippers and different tags and different fabric. The inside of this is lined with the decorator weight, but the inside of this was just regular fabric weight. So very, very fun. This, as you can see, is my quilt. This is Broken Herringbone by, oh, I was going to bring it down and then I pulled it back out again. I want to say it was by Violet Craft. I think it's Violet Craft or Elizabeth Hartman, one of the two. It's from a class that I took with the South Sound Modern Quilt Guild years ago. I have the quilt top finished, but it's just sitting there along with about almost 20 other quilt tops because I don't have a machine big enough to do quilting by hand. To do free motion quilting, and my machine doesn't like it very much, even on the smaller ones, which I have done the smaller ones, throw quilts and things. So this is my first quilt that I have taken to a long armor for myself. I've done charity quilts where I did the quilt and they send it to a long armor and they do the quilting and then I do the binding or whatever. But this is my first for me. I had Shiplap, like I said, Shiplap Quilt Shop in Tenino. Kristin is her name. She is one of the shop owners. She's the wife. And I had her do an all over pattern. And you can see it's kind of a flower with a scrolling. Oopsies. I'm definitely going to have my husband or my son hold it up because they're tall, but you can get an idea. That's the front. What? Are you laughing at me?
Can you hear that?
Is that real life or is that a video?
Dogs upstairs.
No, I couldn't hear that.
I could have sworn he's probably picking up on the video too.
No, it might be. I'm going to have you hold this up for a picture later.
Oh, okay.
So here is the back. Oh my. Isn't that cool? This is the label. Oh, it's upside down. This is the label I put. I took the leftover pieces of this and put it into the backing. And I'll show you, like I said, when I show you the full picture, you'll be able to see. But that is how I used up extra fabric, is I just put it on the back. And then here is the label. This is the Sweetwater Label company. I know I've showed you different labels I've gotten in the past. This is what I decided to put into the back of my quilt. And I am so excited. So Kristin called me and my husband was in the car with me when he did. And I was telling her that originally I had wanted to quilt this so that the herringbone really showed up, and either do a different design in here or do something different in the lines than in the big sections. But at this point, it's been years since this has been done. I love these colors and I wanted it up in my room for spring, in here for the spring, and then be able to use it. So I just took it to the long armor. And so Kristin does, I think she can do custom, but right now she's really focusing on the all over pattern, and it goes a lot quicker and she can get more of them done, or maybe, I don't know. Anyways, that's what she does. She's like, I could recommend someone else that does custom. I'm like, no, at this point, let's just get it so I can have it. I had taken classes to use a long arm at Wayland Quilt Works before they shut down. I've taken actually a few quilting classes, but that I used when quilt shops have a long arm you can rent. Often you have to take kind of a class to see how to use their particular long arm. And so I did that and got one of my quilts done. I think maybe two of my quilts done with her. Either one, but this was right at the beginning or right before the pandemic. And so then she ended up having to shut down that part. She ended up selling her business. And so I'm left with, again, I was telling her this, because what I really want is to be able to rent a long arm to do what I want to do on some of the bigger quilts, because my machine doesn't like it. And it's a lot of shoulder work to maneuver this. with just a regular sewing machine at home, regular home sewing machine. So I was telling her this, and my husband was we were in the car on the way up to pick up something and in Tacoma, and he's hearing this whole conversation. And he had an ulterior motive for having me come with him that day. Since my son he's 26, he was a baby, or he was a toddler, I saw my first long arm and saw what it could do. And I've wanted one. So for 24, 25 years now, I've wanted a long arm, but I really thought I needed to wait till one of the boys moved out, and it might have to be a business because it's so expensive. I had finally gotten to the point where, both my kids were grown, and I was going to see if I could get a job at one of the sewing machine places up here so that I could work part-time and have that go towards getting a long arm, because it's just such a huge expense. If you don't know, long arms are rather pricey. And for me, I have a hard time spending that kind of money on myself for something that's just fun. But if you make it a business, sometimes making things a business, then it becomes not fun, it's work. And so just finding that work-life balance. Anyhow, my husband stopped at the Quality Sewing and Back on the way home. But in that moment, in that phone call, he told me after I got the phone, he says, he's asking me questions. Well, how much does it cost to get these long armed? And I said, well, it depends on the size. This is just a small one, so it's not going to be that much, but it's, it's 22 cents up to 35 cents a square inch, typically or 0.35 a square inch, up to way more for custom quilting. And so, and you provide the batting, sometimes the thread, the top and the back. So it's just the quilting. Like I said, quilting, and sometimes they include the thread. So it's just the actual quilting. He says, well, how many quilts do you need to have quilted, or how many quilts do you have finished? Not counting the fabric and the ones that are whips for me. I said, well, at least a dozen. I don't know. Now I know it's closer to 20 that are done and not quilted. Like I said, I think I have 5 that are really close to being done. So it's just too expensive to have them all quilted. And it's not my favorite part to try and do it on my home machine. And I said, but my home machine I love for sewing. It's perfect for piecing. It's perfect for making like these project bags and totes and different things. But to do home quilting, it was too hard. And so he said, well, honey, you love this. You've wanted this for a long time. And it only makes sense for you to get your own, to do what you want, to quilt what you want, to do what you want, and instead of paying somebody else to not even do what you want. And he says, you make quilts not just for you, but you're making them for other people. It's how you show love. It's how you comfort. It's something you want to pass on. It's something you want to give away. And he knows I've made lots of quilts that I give to different charities and give to Children's Hospital, or to people that are fire victims, or our guild gave quilts and made quilts for like battered women's shelters and homeless women getting back on their feet, that kind of a thing. So he says, this is a passion of yours and something you put a lot of time and love into, and it's a way for you to kind of carry on even beyond you, because it's something that you want to have and give to your nieces and nephews and your kids and grandkids when you have them. And it's just something that is a deep part of you, and sharing that is part of who you are. And he said it so much better than even that. I was in tears in the car when he's saying all this. And so he said, let's get you your dream. So I thought my hutch was going to be my birthday present. My real birthday present is coming May 24th. Have an appointment for them to come set it up and show me how to use it. But I am getting my very own long arm, which gave me even more motivation to get that room cleaned so I can have more quilts to quilt. He said, call her back and have her not finish it. And I said, I'm not going to do that, because she already she's already in the process, and I know it'll be a while. Like, I didn't know if I would even be getting it right then, and I'm like, I'm just gonna have her finish it and see in person what it looks like to have a professional quilted quilt. See, it kind of looks like a heart. So Kristin did an amazing job, and I'm so happy that she did this for me, but I am so excited to do my own. And yeah, so that's my story so far on my quilt. I'll let you know how that goes. And this is not going to turn into a quilting channel. Like I said, I may start, if I start doing videos about quilting, I think I'm going to just label them as such, or sewing, or I haven't figured out a label for that. If you have a good idea, let me know down below. But I might show you as I finish things. And so hopefully I won't be boring you with this story. Hopefully if you stayed, that you wanted to hear that. But I do have a question for you. I'm kind of curious how I should bind this. So there's a couple of bindings, just that frame that kind of goes along the whole outside of it. I'm thinking of doing one of the colors, picking out one of the colors in this quilt. So let me know, would you pick just a single color or one of these fabrics to bind it? And if so, which one? Or should I do a scrappy binding that uses all of the scraps I have? Because I've got several like 3-inch strips left of these colors, but not enough to do one of these. I'll have to pick a different fabric unless I do I think I have the pink and the blue. I could do it in either one of these. But if I did scrappy, I've got plenty of scrappy, but then I'm wondering that scrappy might just really take away from the herringbone. So once you see the picture at the end, let me know, what would you do? Would you pick one of these colors and do it as the binding? Would you do a scrappy binding? What color would you choose? And of course, as always, I love to hear what you're stitching on, especially what you're stitching on while you're watching my videos. You always have me, there's always somebody who makes a comment, usually more than one, that I'm like, ooh, what's that? And I have to go look it up, and I'm like, add to cart. Might not be adding as much to cart until I get some of this quilting done and some of the stuff I have finished. Now that I've been going through my rooms and see how much I have, I'm like, I need to finish some projects. I need to get some cross stitching finished and FFO'd, and I need to get some quilts finished. And so that's my story for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I think it'll probably be another, it might be another 2 weeks. I think I'll be more on a 2-week schedule. As the sun comes out and we get more yard work, there'll be more time spent out in the yard even than on my inside crafts. But I'm still stitching, and I'll be back with my next video, my next Flosstube, sharing what I'm cross stitching. Have a great week, or couple weeks, or a few weeks until I see you again. Hopefully it won't be that long. Bye.